Holiday survival tips and tricks, video number 2. So you have done your list of who's in your vortex. These are people you know you're going to encounter throughout the holidays on a extended period of time basis. They're going to have access to your energy. You're going to be immersed in theirs. How does it make you feel? So if you can name the behavior, you can make a healthy boundary for the behavior. Think about that. If you know that when you let so and so come into the conversation and they start to shame you or guilt you or judge you, then you are going to define that that's what they do. Like name it. You have to have that moment within your own being. I love Aunt so and so, but every time she talks to me, she makes me feel this small. And no matter what I feel good about myself, she doesn't recognize it because it doesn't fit into her playbook. Now, you don't have to necessarily hurt Aunt so and so's feelings, but it's up to you to do the shadow work so that what she says no longer triggers you. So, whenever you realize that you are also letting her measuring stick applied to your life trigger you, then that is your work. That's your shadow work. So you know this without even having an encounter or engagement with her, or whatever the case may be. Just using her as an example. So start to do the shadow work. Where did that first core wound come from? Someone, some event in your world, at some point in time, gave you the first cut, the core wound that continues to be triggered every time somebody starts to measure what you have accomplished in your life to what they think you should have accomplished. And you allow it. And every time you allow it, it's another layer of heartache, another layer of negative energy. And this is getting stuck all over your body. So it's up to you to stop it. It's up to you to clear it. It's up to you to deal with the trigger. So you want to go back to the initial wound. So you don't have to do a deep recursion into your past lives or your past, period. I don't believe in going back and unearthing and re-wounding yourself to heal. That's not necessary. You just have to lean into the feeling of the pain of the event far enough that you can recognize how it came about and also be accountable. See, we contract most of the events in our life that are friction causing because it's what gives us opportunity to grow. But if you stay in the wounding, you don't allow yourself to grow. So, first choice, do you want to stay in the wounding or you want to heal and evolve out of it? Well, hopefully you've chosen to heal and evolve out of it. When you do that, it's a matter of forgiving everyone involved, including yourself, because prior to incarnating, you probably sat around the table with all these souls and said, okay, you're going to be the one that always hurts my feelings every holiday season until I learn my lesson and I defend my healthy boundary. And they go, okay, I'll be that person for you. So you give forgiveness for all parties involved, gratitude for the lesson that all these friction causing people, these villains that you contracted in your life, they showed up for you. They have free will choice. They did not have to show up and be the villain. They did not have to show up and be the energy vampire aunt. They did not have to be that person for you, which would have robbed you of the lesson. And then send love, love to yourself, love to every person involved, the entire event. Once you LFG, that's my version of LFG, love, forgiveness, and gratitude. Once you LFG that event, the wound starts to heal. Now, it may still come up in layers. There may be more aspects to dive into. Then you just LFG them until the wound no longer feels like a cut. It's just a bruise that's healing. And eventually, it will not be anything that can be triggered again.